3406.
Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we have a bigger radio. It's time to take out the big guns, perhaps. This is a radio from TYT or TTech, and this is a long overdue video. And the box is empty. No, it's not empty. I have set this radio up. We'll see it in a moment. I just thought to show you what was inside the box. Obviously, the user manual. And here we have extra long cable for the faceplate. We'll see it in a moment. Some stickers, a lot of screws. You will need them if you're going to put this radio in your car, and base attachments to help you fix the radio where you want. And this also is a clip for the speaker mic, of course, to hang it on. Okay, so this was in the box. And before closing it, let's see which radio this is. Here we go. As you can see, the model is TM-D70W. That's for 70 watts. The rating power output for this model is 70 watts for VHF and 55 watts for UHF. From measurings that I have seen, the ratings are very close to the real ones. So it's about 70 watts for VHF and 55 watts for UHF. Also, we have 2 meters 70 centimeters. It's a dual transceiver radio, we're going to see it in a moment, and also it can receive airband. Now that's it for the box. Okay, so here we are with the TM-D70 watts from TTech, from TYT. This is the radio. It has a pretty sleek shape, I have to say that. A color screen, as you can see. Dual VFOs, this is dual band. And actually, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's dual transceiver. It's not just alternating between the two VFOs. Of course, I have my power brick down here to give it power at 13.9 volts. At the moment, it's drawing 0.5 amps of current just in standby. Here we have the speakerphone that came with it, which, let's have a quick look here. It has, of course, the PTT button. 2 buttons up here for going up and down the channels, an indicator light over here. The keypad, of course, has backlight, which you can turn off by this button over here. And of course, you can also lock it with this switch over here. So this is the speakerphone. You can control almost everything from here, except the menu, of course, okay? But we'll talk about that also with the CPS programming of this radio. So let's have a look at the unit. Here I have also the other TYT radio that I showed in the channel before, the UVL 15 watts. I know that you guys ask me where to buy that unit. It's an excellent handheld radio, a really excellent handheld radio. I haven't found it yet from trustworthy sellers in AliExpress, so I haven't recommended any links, but I am watching it, and if something pops up, I will let you know in a video, because a lot of people ask me where to get it. Now, let's see here. This faceplate is, of course, removable, like this. It has a switch over here on the side. And of course, you can see the connection cable on the back here, which you can use with the extension cable that we saw in the box. Let me pop it back in. Here we are. The speakerphone goes either on this side or on this side. There's another port here for the speakerphone, so you can choose whichever you prefer. And let's see here the buttons, obviously well-known buttons: VFO memory, call, F, also the lock, tone, reverse, low. This is the power set button, band, control, and the 2 controllers for the 2 VFOs. From those 2 you can control the volume for each one of them independently, of course, or you can select which memory VFO will be active by pressing them inside. Okay? Now, to go into the menu, you just press F and the power button, and here we are at the menu of the radio. You can see the basic settings over here. Let me zoom in perhaps a little bit. Okay. Now we have the beep, external speaker mode. That is if you connect an external speaker to the unit. Let's go to the next one. Step. Of course, you can select the step here. Timeout timer. I have it at 3 minutes. This is the lowest setting that it has. I guess this is the mic sensitivity. Let's go in to see what do we have here. Okay, high, low, high 1 and high 2. Okay, let's put it to low at the moment. Okay, TX mute. From here you can select what will happen to the second VFO at the time that you are transmitting. So you can change this, for instance, if the output volume will be at 100% or it will lower down or even mute completely, which I will select at the moment. We have of course the offset for the specific channel. This is the repeater mode because this radio is a true crossband repeater. I'll talk about this in a second. Power and message. Of course I have my call sign here. Screen brightness. This is the auto brightness for the radio. I will set it to on. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this is the PF1, which is this key, the band here. You can select what you want to be displayed or how it will work. As you can see, it has a lot of options. Let's put it to RSSI as it was. And over here we have also programmable keys on the speakerphone, which are those 4 keys on the side here. You can see that they write A, B, C, D. You can select what each one of them does from this menu. An excellent option if you ask me. Auto power off, if you want the unit to shut down after a while. This is about DTMF signals, 2-tone, 5-tone, etc. Here we are, the 2-tone, 5-tone and DTMF. Wide narrow for the channel that we are on. Busy lockout, of course. Display mode, if we want name, frequency or channel number, I have it to name. Preset repeater tone, if you use those, if your repeater uses those. Scrambler, on or off. We have seen it too many radios, this setting, but obviously in most countries it's illegal. I have to just to say that. We have a password setting for using the unit. A reset, here is the reset menu. Here it says TX-ENC, but actually this is a noise cancellation for the transmission. Let me turn this to on, to say the truth, it would be better, I guess. And the last menu is Vox, of course if you want it on or off. And we're off. Now, as I said before, the impressive thing about this radio is that it has 2 transceivers. I'll just pop on the screen now a photo of the internals of this radio, just for you to see what I mean. Here we are. You can see now that it has 2 transceivers inside. You can see the codes of those transceivers, and this is why it has a true crossband repeater. It also means that you can receive at the same time on both VFOs, so you can hear the reception on both VFOs at the same time. Let me try to do a little test on that. Before continuing, I'd just like to say that the VFO1 here is the one that receives the airband, and VFO2 not. So if you want to hear your airband frequencies, you will set them on this side. So let's see, let me change to another channel in PMR just for listening. Okay, and put the volume a little bit up. And here I'm going to put an airband frequency. I have used this frequency before. It's the volmet station. It continuously broadcasts information about the airplanes. So let's hear it out. Perfect. I will just lower it a bit down to be barely audible, and I'm going to press and talk with my PMR on this channel to see what we can hear. Test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. As you saw, I had both voices at the same time, the volmet and my voice on PMR 13 channel. So this is how the dual transceivers work, and this is why that this radio has a true crossband repeater inside. So you can use it as a repeater. You can set the channel to receive on the one VFO and the channel to submit on the other VFO, a VHF and UHF frequency perhaps, and go on from there. Obviously, on the back of the radio there are the cables that came with it to connect it to the power source, and each one of those cables, the positive and the ground, have a holder to put inside breakers like this one. This is a 10 amps 250 volt breaker, a glass one. So they have two holders, one in the ground and one in the positive, to protect the machine from overpower, I guess. So this is just something that you should know. And I'm using this for a few days now. I'm quite pleased. I just set up my antenna on the roof, a Diamond X50, and I connected this to this unit. I have to say that overall I'm impressed. I know that it's not a Japanese Yaesu radio with the multiple functions here and stuff like that, but it's a very nice radio for someone who starts and wants a simple but powerful unit like this one with two transceivers. Now, the power output of TM-70 watts is maximum at 70 watts as it's advertised in VHF, and about 50 to 55 for UHF. It has three power settings, low, medium and high. From what I have seen, at low power is about 10 watts and in mid power is about 23 to 25 watts. So that's how it separates the three power settings. Quite enough for any one of us, I guess. Okay, since we're here, let's check some other airband frequencies from Athens International Airport. Perfect. You can also see that it has a scrolling screen for the extra characters in the channels. So this was the hands-on video for this unit, the TYT TM-D70W. A very nice 70 watts VHF UHF radio and also airband receiver with dual transceivers and true crossband repeater. Now, before closing this video, let's have a look at the CPS and the programming. Okay, and now that we looked at the actual machine, let's have a quick look at the CPS, the programming software of the TM-D70W. Of course, the graphic that you see here on the screen, it's not the actual machine, that's a graphic representation. I hope you understand this. Anyway, it's quite close to the real one, of course, yes. So let's see the CPS. Okay, this is it. I have to say here it's not a complaint, it's, well, I would say a suggestion to TYT, the company. If you're seeing this video, please update the CPS. You have done an excellent job with the CPS of the UVL-15, the handheld radio. I was amazed by how well built it was and the updates that you did after our suggestions. And believe me, I think that the TM-70W also needs an update. Well, I understand that maybe it's not your priority, but okay, you could make this software, it's a bit dated, and you could make it more current and with some more features. Not a lot, just if you could add a few features to this software, I think it would be okay for most. And this is because, for instance, we don't have chirp compatibility. So you could add a chirp CSV import button somewhere, so we don't have to pass all our frequencies by hand, which I did. Okay, I did that. Yes, I passed 194 frequencies by hand. It's been a long day, so I don't want to repeat that, to say the truth. And I'd love to see an import function for chirp CPS data, at least, to this TYT CPS. Now, this is the main screen. If you open the CPS, I have the radio connected to the laptop, and let's retrieve the data. Now, the cable that is needed for programming this radio came to me with the radio itself. Just be careful, it's not a common cable as we are used to in other brands. It's a USB-C to serial interface cable, and I think it works specifically for TYT radios, or even more specifically for this radio. So be sure to take the correct cable, be sure to order the correct cable, or ask where you buy the radio to provide you with the correct cable to connect it to your computer. So we retrieve the data from the CPS. As you can see, I have passed my test channels as usual, the PMR channels at first and some other frequencies down here. Yes, okay. And let's have a look at the CPS. It's pretty lean, I have to say. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. As I said, I think it needs a bit of revamp. Okay. Now, the first option here at the drop down is the channels. If you click in a channel number, you will get this screen from which you can also go to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and edit all the channels one by one, like I did. And these are the options of each channel. Power, we have 3 power levels, as we said, wide, narrow, signal, if we could use a DTMF tone or 2-tone, 5-tone. The squelch type, if it's going to be CTCSS, DCS or not, this is changed from here. And also here are the values for the tones. Here again we have the DTMF 5-tone busy lockout, scan, skip or allow, and scramble. Of course, we're not going to use that. And down here we have, for instance, this is TX inhibit if you want to block a channel from transmitting. Sometimes it's very useful. I hope you understand this. Now, you can edit those values from here also, not all of them, but most of them, the basic ones, and the other ones are by default. The second option here opens the VFO settings for each of the two transceivers. You can see what we can set for each one here. It's almost identical to the channel section. Here we have the UHF for the A transceiver, and here again for the B UHF, and also A for the airband. Some parts of this CPS are not translated, but okay, we understand what those are. Here we have an AM option for the lower values of the VFO, and the last two tabs are the call channels that you can quickly retrieve from the call button on the faceplate of the radio. So that's it also for this section of the CPS. Here where it says basic, we have the basic options of the CPS, obviously. Display mode, if we want double or single receive, squelch level, the repeater tone, PTT release, the voice channel. We show all those in the menu system of the radio itself. Those are the values here. Here we have the programmable button, the fourth one, and the M button, I think it's the one on the radio. TX filter, this is the menu that we show in the radio. That's the noise cancelling for transmission for our voice. And of course here the boot string if you want to change it to show something else while it starts. The next three CPS sections are for the DTMF 2-tone and 5-tone. I'm not going to change that. Frequency range. Now here we can see what this radio can do. These are the minimum and the maximum frequencies that this radio can go. RxTX at VHF and UHF, and of course you also see lower airband values over here. Okay, and the last tab is the commercial radio. Nothing special. You can set some memories over here, obviously, and the VFO for a commercial radio that you want to listen to. That was it. I mean, there's nothing else here, just the common settings. Bitrate, we have to set this to 57600 for the CPS to work correctly with this USB cable. That's what I know. COM port select, of course, yes. Okay, we have to choose the correct COM port. Here we have also something called radio information. Okay, it's in Chinese. And program code, don't enter anything here. And if you do enter something here, please remember it. This blocks the programming through the CPS to the radio. If you set a code here and you open the CPS after that, it will ask you for this code in order to program the radio. So just leave it blank. This is not the radio password. Okay, the radio password is here at basic settings, where you can activate it here, power on password setting. Okay, different kind of password. We don't have anything else here in the CPS. As I said, it's a pretty lean, very simple CPS. We have 200 channels, and when we are done editing the settings and all the lists of the channels, which is pretty tiresome to do by hand, you can upload your configuration back to the radio, which is a pretty quick procedure, and you're done. Okay, so this was the TYT TM-D70W. I hope you liked it. I'm going to use it as a desk machine here with my Diamond X50 antenna. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time.